Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Rule of Reading. My name is Celeste and today I'm going to do my July wrap up. July. I think I've got it right. I don't know for sure. What is happening today? Yeah, July. I wrote it down here. Okay, so I read 11 5 stars this month, 5 4 stars, 1 3.5 star, 4 3 stars, 1 2 stars, and 1 1 star. So I had a pretty good reading month with a few that just weren't for me. So yeah, I'm really happy with my reading. I also read 6 physical books, 6 ebooks, 10 audiobooks, and 5 NetGalley books. Like the NetGalley books are 4 ebooks and 1 audiobook. So that's that. And in total, I read 23 books this month. So I had a pretty good reading month. I was not reading as fast as I normally did, but still, like, it's a lot what I read. So just let's get into the first book I read. It was a physical book. It's The Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. It's the fourth one in the series. I gave this 4 stars. I really like this much. I think this was the best in the series so far. I haven't continued, but I really want to soon. So we'll see what I think about the rest of the series. But I really enjoyed this book. The series is about Selena Sardotian, and she's an assassin, and she participates, or like she gets captured and is in this working camp, and she gets invited to this game or conquest to participate, and if she wins she gets her freedom, and it's her story and her life kind of. So I really enjoyed the series. It's not my favorite of Sarah J. Maas, but I really do want to continue. Next book I read was Titan by François Vigneault. Sorry about that mispronunciation. That's an ebook from NetGalley. It's a graphic novel, and I gave it 3 stars. It's about Joe and Phoebe, and Phoebe is a Titan, and there are all these colonies in the sky. And I don't really remember what it's about. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't really anything special, which I'm sad about, so that's okay. The third book I read this month was Buddy Read with Claire from... sorry, I can't remember her channel name. Claire, I will leave a link down below. I read Girl Prince by Holly Black. I sadly gave this 3 stars, which is disappointing actually, because I really want to I really wanted to enjoy this so much, and I'm just sad I didn't. And I am continuing. I'm giving The Wicked Prince a chance in September, but I don't know if I will continue with Queen of Nothing. Depends if I like The Wicked King. It's about Jude and her sisters, and just, I think everyone knows what this is about. I don't want to explain it actually. The 4th book I listened to, it's the first audiobook I finished, is Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. I gave this 2 stars. It was supposed to be scary, a little bit dramatic, and I just didn't care. It was half an hour of an audiobook, and I was like, I want to be done with it. It was like 15 minutes and just didn't care. So that's why I give it 2 stars. The 5th book I read was an ebook. It was The Mermaid, the Witch and the Sea by Maggie Tokudo-hall. It's from NetGalley, and I gave it also 3 stars. It wasn't my favorite. I liked the characters, the diversity in this book. It was just so much. You have I think a non-binary character, because they're always mentioned as they them, but you just don't see that character actually. We never meet that character, we just hear about the character, and they're always mentioned as they and them. We have a character that is questioning her identity. We have a black main character and I think Chinese main character, but I'm not sure. It can be. I'm not sure which one. And sapphic romance, and I really liked diversity, but I just didn't really care about the story and the plot. And I think the magic system could have been so much better. It has so much potential, but it just wasn't there. And that's my opinion on that. The sixth book I read, that was also an audiobook, and it was The Madness of Lord Ian MacKenzie by... oh, I didn't write down the author's name. Honey. I give it 3.5 stars. It was an audiobook. I liked it. Enjoyed it. It was a historical fiction, a historical romance. It wasn't anything special for me. It's in 1881, and it's about Ian, and he has kind of like autism, but they don't know about autism at the time, and Beth, and they kind of get married. It's just fun. I don't know. I wanted to continue, but I don't know if I will with the series. We'll see. The seventh and the eighth audiobook I listened to this month was Chord of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. Both are 5 stars. I love this series so much. I still need to get physical copies. I don't know why I don't buy them, and like there's another trilogy where I read one book in July. I need to get those physical copies too soon, but we'll see when I ever do. I love them. Just, oh my god, I love this book. The first one, it was 3 stars for me, but the last 2 just 5 stars. I loved it so much. Just read that series. If you about the first one, read the second and third book. They're just amazing. Just do, please do. The 9th book I read was a physical. No, I listened to it on audiobook, but I have the physical copy now, and it's Loveless by Ellis Oseman. Also 5 stars. This book, just, it's amazing. I love this so much. This Georgia, it's about Georgia, and she is finding out about her sexuality. And I cried a lot in this book, and because Georgia is almost exactly me, and just hit me in the feels really hard. And I'm rereading this again with the Bone Sticks. If you don't know, the Bone Stick is a friend group we have, and I'm so excited to reread this, but also scared because they're reading about me actually most of the time, which is quite scary, but I love this so much. I'm so glad I read this as soon as possible when it was out, and I just want to reread it again, and I loved it so much. Okay, next book I read was an ebook, and it was Wait by Lisa McMann. It was from my book club. I give this 1 star. I did not like this book at all. I did not like this book at all, and it's about Jeannie, and she kind of steps into someone else's dreams, and it was a really interesting synopsis, but I don't think it was enough. It had a lot of troubles. I think the relationships were really bad and not handled at all. Jamie's mom is a alcoholic, and that relationship was just so handled bad because Jamie just wasn't mentioned, it wasn't handled, just wasn't done anything. It was just, oh, she's an alcoholic and nothing more. But it's a kind of neglect too, and I just thought, like, no, it just really handled bad, and I just couldn't stand it. And the relationship with the love interest was just like weird. It was just like, I hate him, kiss him. I hate him, kiss him. And I was like, what? So I just really didn't enjoy that at all. And I know it's Ebony's favorite book of all time, but I just couldn't get into it. The 11th book I listen to it. It's an audiobook, but I do have a physical copy. Is Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. 5 stars. You know, this series is my favorite series of all time, or one of my favorite series of all time. And this I just listen to whenever I need a pick-me-up time. And this month I kind of need a tad. And just 5 stars, love it, pick it up. One thing I do want to say, and one thing I think I didn't handle well enough, because myself, I'm not triggered that well. Look up trigger warnings for this. What I can say is rape trigger warnings, gore, because they are multiple times, there are fights, people die, you see them, blood, and just rape. Just look it up, please. I just want everyone healthy, but I love this series so much. Okay, next one. Next, I physically read Blood for Blood by Ryan Graudin, and I love this series so much. I do. I read such a good rating one. Like, oh my god, I love this book so much. This series is good and everyone needs to read it. I still gonna talk to you, Connor. But oh, I love this series so much. And I'm so glad it was our first book club book big, even though I'm stepping out right now because personal reasons, but I love this series so much. Okay, this is about Yael, and she participates in this race, and it's like Hitler won. It's the Second World War and Hitler won, so Hitler has the power, and she participates in a race because if she wins she gets to meet Hitler, and her plan is to kill Hitler. And this is her story, and just, oh my god, it's amazing. Okay, then I listened to the audiobook of Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. I give this 4 stars. It was a really good book, but some things it wasn't the hit for me. It gave me 5 stars. It's about Jane McKean, and it's like about the time they were fighting in America. Forgetting I think the 1700s, and the death rises, and just Jane fights that, and there's a sexual character, and you see like a lot about racism and how it actually hasn't changed that much since the 1700s to now, and it's just really impactful. And I think this story is really good if you don't like non-fictions or contemporary. This tells you a lot, and it informs you, and even though they don't need you to inform, well, or people of color and black people don't need to educate you, this book is really well done, and I think everyone should read it. I do need to continue with the second book though. Then I read With the Fire and High by Elizabeth Acevedo. 5 stars. I love this so much. This is about Emoni, and she has a daughter, baby girl, but she is Emma. Emoni calls her baby girl. She's 2, and I just love this so much. I got, like, we did, a friend of mine did a live show, and they were said their Spanish culture and was handled not well, and I just want to say I recognize it right now. I didn't see it because I just don't know that culture, so I don't know how. I just don't know, but furthermore, I loved it, but I see that it had a problem. I'm hot. Book 15 was What You Wish For by Katherine Center. This was a NetGalley audiobook, my first NetGalley audiobook, and I gave it 4 stars. I loved it. It's just romance, cozy. I just loved it, but it's really forgettable, and there was a problem with mental health. I think it wasn't handled well. It could have been handled more. But this is about Samantha Casey, and she lives in a small town, and she's a librarian, and the man that's principal dies, and she was really close with him, and the new principal is kind of, when she knew him before and she was the same as the old principal, but he totally changed, and it is a romance. Trigger warning for this book is school shootings. Just wanted to say that. And trigger warnings are not spoilers, okay? They're not. So I just wanted to say that. Then the next audiobook I listened to was The Kingdom of Copper by S.A Chakraborty. 5 stars. I love this series so much. The series is amazing. I need the physical copies right now. I love this series so much. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's hard-hitting. It's intricate. It's just amazing, okay? Everyone should read it. It's just, oh, I love this story. I loved it, okay? Read it now, please. Okay. Book 17, There Are Things I Can't Tell You by Edako Mofumofu. It's a manga. I was getting the name. And I gave it 5 stars. It's an ebook from NetGalley, and I loved this book so much. Oh my god, it was amazing. It's about 2 boys, and Kasumi and Kiyasuke. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. And they have been friends for quite a long time. They fell out after college, but they have known each other for a long time. And both of them have loved each other, but they never said anything. And it's like dealing with parents that aren't acceptant of them. And I love this so much. And I think just read it. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful book. Beautiful art style. I love this. Okay, next audiobook I listened to was The Drums of Autumn by Diana Gabaldon. I love this so much. Also, I just needed to pick me up this month, and so I decided to listen to 2 of them. Normally I do that, but I just needed it. So I listened to this, loved it, 5 stars. Amazing. Don't know what I have to say much more about that. Book 19 was Room 119 by T.F. Lince. This was an ebook, and it gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I had a hard time getting into the book. So like the first half of the book was at 3 stars because I had a difficult time getting into it. But the second half was at 5 stars because I just so into it. I just loved it so much. It's amazing. It's a mystery. I thought it was a thriller, but it wasn't. Or at least I didn't think it was. But it's amazing. I really loved it. I really would recommend this to anyone who loves mysteries more than I do. I really love this. And it's about Dean and his life. And I really don't know how to explain this book because it was really weird, but amazing. So read it. I'm hot. Book 20 was a physical book where I did a long time about this, but it was amazing, and it's Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I gave this 5 stars. This is absolutely amazing. I think Brandon Sanderson is one of my new favorite authors. I've read the Mistborn series, but I didn't really enjoy it that much because I think it's in these horrible mass market paperback version. Look at this. And I don't like reading them. And that's also why I always listen to the audiobooks of Outlander. But this copy is amazing. I love this so much. 5 stars. This is about what they're called. No, Vivanna and Siri, and they're sisters, and they're from Adrian. And Vivanna has to marry the God King. She's been engaged since she was born to him, and God King rules over Helandrin. And instead of Vivanna, Siri is sent, and it's about their story, and I loved it so much. Read it, please. I loved it. I really did love it so much. Book 21 was The Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. This was an audiobook and it was absolutely amazing. 5 stars. I've had so many good books this month and it's amazing and I love them. Oh my god, I'm so happy with my reading this month. This is about 2 boys, or men, actually 2 men because they're almost 30. It's about Oliver and Luke, and Luke has a job, and at this job he is seen as this man who just does things that are not good in the media, and like he is a rock star as a father and a mother. I think they're both like popular, and he gets in the media quite a lot, and his job says you need to get a good boyfriend if you want to still have this job, if you don't want to be fired, which is quite stupid. And it's actually just because he's gay, actually, because they need money and the people who give them money say that he's got a boyfriend. Just stupid. And he kind of is desperate and he meets Oliver, and it's their love story, and I'm explaining this book so bad. But I love this book so much. So read it, please. Yay! What was that? Book 22 of the month, we're almost there, is My Riot by Rick Spears and Emmett Helen. It was a graphic novel. I gave this 3 stars. I liked it. This is a NetGalley ebook. And it's about Val, and she is a ballerina. She's 17, so she's still a kid. And she falls in love with this rock band, and she wants to kind of figure herself out, and she changes. And I really liked it. It's a really good graphic novel, but I just couldn't connect with it really. So that's why I'm giving it 3 stars. But I really liked it. And the last book I physically read was Every Heart a Dory by Seanan McGuire. I like this so much too. The first time I read this I gave it 3 stars. Now I'm giving it 4 stars. Because I think me reading it physically gave me an insight on the beautiful writing from Seanan McGuire. It's beautiful. I loved it so much. And they're like these bubbles. I made these bubbles. I don't really annotate, but I made these bubbles because they were just beautiful, and I'm gonna find one. Yeah. No. And this one is like falls on my sexuality, my asexuality. It's not what I mean. I don't want to go on dates with girls either. I don't want to go on dates with anyone. People are pretty sure, and I like to look at pretty things, but I don't want to go on a date with the painting. It's just And there's this other one absolutely hit me so hard, and I really want to say this one too. If I find it. No, where is it? It's oh, here. Hope hurts. That's what you need to learn, and fast, if you don't want it to cut you open from the inside out. Hope is bad. Hope means you keep holding on to things that won't ever be so again, and so you bleed an inch at a time until there's nothing left. Eleanor is always saying, don't use this word and don't use that word, but she never bans the bad ones. She never bans hope. Okay, I really, really like these little snippets of feelings, and just I really like this. So this was my wrap up. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please click that little bell button down below, and I really do hope to see you guys next time.
No one knows just what to say.